Ugh. Well, this is just gonna be a review of the game. Just pull my website up, hosting. So, my biggest problem with this game is there's no central story. I mean, you get 8 characters and they each follow their own story. And then there's no sense of time, because some of the stories are a lot more urgent than the other ones. Like Hana is trying to save her master from a beast. So you would think she would want to get from her city to the city he's at as quickly as possible. But no, you go around picking up everybody. And then there's no real restriction of what order you do things. So there's no really sense of time in the game either. After you do everybody's chapters, there is the final boss that has like these little, you beat the 8 and you can read these giant texts of how they're all linked together. But it's a really subtle way to link all the stories together. It doesn't really work. So I'm not really sure this game should have been designed as an RPG. Maybe more of a, you guys probably don't know this, but the game called 99 Nights, it's kind of a Destiny Warrior vibe, but it has a really good story to it. But it's only on Xbox, and it's really underrated for some reason. But it was a great game, and it deserved a sequel, but it never got one. But I think this game should have been designed more along that vein, and then the 8 stories would have been made a lot more sense, instead of trying to have a party and then everybody completing all their stories at the same time. Just doesn't work. You can't be at 8 places at once. So, but I did put 80 hours into the game, and I do like it, so I'm probably gonna recommend it. It's just my review's probably gonna sound pretty negative, but I guess that's not crazy for Steam. The battle system's pretty good. Each character have their own little thing, and it balances out quite well. Like, most people probably want the thief always in their party, but when you're doing the dancer story, having the dancer and the thief in the party just weakens your whole party completely. Like, you would either have to take out a healer or a mage, and then you're not doing healing or magic damage. I guess you could solve that by picking a healer or mage as your main character, that way you can't remove them anyway. But then you're not doing physical damage. So, but the thief unlocks the chest, so you walk through all these chests you can't unlock. And then you always want the mage in your party because he tells you what their weaknesses are. Trying to fight the enemies without knowing their weaknesses is a pain in the ass. Because the break is what makes the battles, is what the goal of each battle, and then you try to do as much damage stealing those breaks as you can. So, negative reviews, story is more 8 separate stories than one centralized story. And the side credits aren't that great, but for an RPG, it's pretty standard, and there's nothing too shocking there or completely negative there. What else to talk about? Battle. Oh, the characters. Yeah, the characters are great because it's, like I said, 8 separate stories, not a centralized story. So each of the characters are developed very well because they each have their own storyline. Again, doing that makes great characters, but a terrible story. So, again, I think that's it. Okay, yep. Gonna shut this off now.